Learn English Classroom introduces The Day My Uncle Was Murdered. Module 2. Lesson 7. This is a family tree story.
I'm Tom. I'm telling the truth about when someone in my family murdered my uncle. It was on the 4th of July. This is my family tree. There are 10 people in my father's side of the family. My mom has 4 siblings, but her family came over later. I have 2 siblings, my sisters, Kate and baby Christy. There's my grandfather and grandmother, my dad's parents. Then, my mom and dad. Uncle Jack, my dad's brother, and his wife, Aunt May. They have a son, my cousin, Jim. But really, I want to tell you what happened on the 4th of July, it was terrible. And, bloody. It was about 2 weeks ago. I woke up early. At 7, because we had a lot to do. I jumped out of bed, threw on some clothes. Then, I ran downstairs to the kitchen. The house was full of people. My father's family came to visit for Independence Day weekend. We were going to barbecue out back, play games, and shoot off fireworks. We all had a lot to do. I wanted to ask my Uncle Jack, he's my dad's brother, to take me to get some ice. Little did I know that I would find a pool of blood instead. But, I'm getting ahead of myself. My sister, Kate, was in the kitchen making eggs and toast. Jim, my cousin, Uncle Jack's son, was making coffee. I asked them, "Where is Uncle Jack?" Jim shrugged his shoulders, but Kate said,
"I think he went out to the shed."
"Are Mom and Dad up?"
"Yes. Mom's bathing Christy and Dad's outside mowing the lawn with a new electric lawn mower."
I grabbed a piece of toast and went outside. Our yard is quite big, because we have over an acre of land. There's a lot of trees and bushes. We have a dog Ollie and a cat Whiskers. Oh, and 10 chickens out in the coop behind the shed. Ollie stretched and walked up to me, then heard something from around the house and sprinted away. My Aunt May was sitting on the porch peeling potatoes. She said,
"Don't go feed the chickens, your dad already did it."
"Where's Uncle Jack?"
"I don't know. That man sees work and heads the other way. I can't get him to do a bit of work at home. He's always loafing around. I swear I could kill him sometimes."
Aunt May's knife gleamed in the sunlight as she waved it in the air to emphasize her point. I decided to get going. I waved and ran across the yard toward the shed. Aunt May was always dramatic. The shed was back behind the trees and lilac bushes. I could not hear the lawnmower running, but those electric ones are pretty quiet. As I ran around some tall bushes, I almost ran into my father. He held an axe. He jerked it away from my arm, as the axe swung in my direction.
Whoa! Where are you going so fast?
"I'm looking for Uncle Jack. I thought he might be hiding in the shed."
"Why do you think that?"
"Oh, just something Aunt May said."
"Maybe you should go help your mom get the baby settled and see if she needs help."
"Oh, I'm going to go to the store to get some ice." My father nodded as he walked away. I took the short path through the trees toward the shed. My grandfather was bent over at the side of the trail. He had gloves on and a machete in one hand. The machete looked sharp. "What are you doing?"
Me? Oh, nothing. I just thought that I'd trim some of the bushes back from this trail. Hee hee hee.
When he laughed nervously, I looked at him weirdly. "Okay, well, have fun with that." I continued to the shed and saw the door was slightly open. "Uncle Jack?" I pushed open the door, I gasped, and stepped back. The entire floor of the shed was covered with blood and gore. Droplets of blood were scattered across the far wall. My mind raced trying to take it all in. What had happened to Uncle Jack? Had someone killed him? I thought of the knife my aunt was holding. The axe my father had swung at me. The machete and nervous laugh of my grandfather. Who would do such a terrible thing? I turned and ran back toward the house.
What's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Worse. I think someone was murdered in the shed.
What?
My Aunt May stepped into the room. My mom was right behind Aunt May with Christy in her arms.
What are you talking about, boy? Murdered? Why would you say that? What on earth are you talking about?
I went in the shed. There was blood. And gore. All over the floor and walls. My mom went to the back door.
Jerry. Jerry. Come in here this minute. Your son has gone crazy.
My dad and grandfather came into the room. We all gathered there, including Cousin Jim who came from upstairs. All the suspects were in the room with me. I started feeling hysterical. I told you. You can go look for yourself. The shed had blood and gore all over the room. The walls are splattered with blood. I think Uncle Jack was killed. And the murderer is in this room. The back door opened. Uncle Jack stood in the open doorway, with a dead chicken in each hand.
What are you yelling about? I'm not dead. But these chickens are. I was butchering these 2 chickens for the barbecue. I had them all tied up, but one of them got loose, as I was cutting it. The blood went everywhere as he was flapping and jumping.
I looked around the room. I said, well, Aunt May had a knife. And Dad had a sharp axe. Even Grandpa had a machete. My dad's eyes went wide. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm glad there's not a murderer in our family tree.
I hope you enjoyed this family tree story. To learn about extended family vocabulary. Families come in all shapes and sizes. Family vocabulary is made up of the grandparents, grandmother and grandfather. Parents, mother and father, or informally, mom and dad. The children in your family are brothers and sisters. Your parents also have brothers and sisters. You call them uncles and aunts. The children of the uncle and aunt are your cousins. Finally, if your sibling has children, the male child is your nephew and the female child is your niece.
This is the vocabulary we went over in this Learn English video. Make sure you write the words in your own language. Try to talk about your own family using some or all of this vocabulary. Thank you for visiting the Learn English classroom. Please subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss new lessons. Share this video on your social media if you found this video useful. Check the description box below for a free worksheet.